You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Gene Johnson.
The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Dance Moms After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Dance Moms After Show.
I got it. Okay.
On that speed of time. Impressive, Tony.
Have several seats.
I will take the Have a Seat award because we're starting so late because LA traffic is a mess. And they would not drive. They would not let me pass them.
And you did not have that magical bus.
I did not have the magical bus from Dance Moms. That is what I needed. That is what I needed. Welcome, everyone. We are here doing another reclap of our favorite dance show, Dance Moms, right here on AFTERBUZZ TV. And of course, I can't do it by myself. I'm with my lovely co-host. Co-host?
We're Chloe's.
Co-host.
I love Chloe.
Yeah. Co-host, starting with my far left, we have.
Hey everybody, I'm Francisco Thurston.
And guys, I'm Stephanie McGrath.
And of course, I'm Tony Moore. And in the booth, we have Marissa.
Yeah.
What's up, everyone?
She is so happy with me right now.
Oh, I'm so thrilled.
Aren't you? Marissa, you still,
Totally thrilled.
you still love me.
I do.
There's nothing but love for
We
me,
can't
right?
have Dance Moms without Tony.
Well,
you
you
It's
know,
just
it
like
would,
Abby and
It almost
Kelly.
happened for like
it
5
almost did
minutes.
happen, but you know,
For 5
thankfully Tony got his seats.
He
so.
got several seats.
I had several seats on the way here, and I almost crashed into several of them too. So, but I'm here safe, and we're gonna do this. Before we kick off the recap of this episode, let's take a moment to send our prayers and thoughts to Abby. She lost her mother a few days ago, so we want to give all of our condolences and prayers to you. Many thoughts to that. That's such a tough situation to be in. So,
Yeah.
Abby, we're with you, and we love you, and we're sorry for your loss.
Yes.
Okay. Whew.
All right.
Let's just start kick it off with the
a
pyramid,
speedy
Tony.
Let's just start. Let's go. We're gonna zip through this. So we are on episode 7, season 4, Big Trouble in the Big Apple. And trust me, there was a lot of trouble in the Big Apple. So let's get through this stuff so we can get to the real stuff.
Right.
So let's start off with the pyramid.
Yes.
We have Chloe, and she's at the bottom because she was 4th place.
Yeah.
Just not good enough.
No. First place is what Abby wants. I feel like I'm just sweating.
You are.
You probably ran in here.
I'm like glistening right now. I'm good. Then we have, I look like I ran through the sprinkler.
Did you just snort?
He did. Then we have Kendall. Right?
Yeah.
And look at Nia. She's back in her same spot. You see, we were right. How they worked her up and then they brought her right back down to the same spot.
In a permanent position. She's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Right there again.
Yeah. Then we have Mackenzie, and she's there because she didn't shine.
Poor Mackenzie.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
Maddie's her
But
sister.
we said that last week. The content was too mature for Mackenzie.
Yeah,
I
she
mean,
shouldn't have been in
well,
that.
for all of them, like, there's no way that they will know what it's like to be drunk or put on something a little more comfortable.
Yeah, exactly.
So
it was interesting. None of you guys commented or anything about.
And y'all had a lot of
group.
comments too.
Yeah, but not about the group. But anyway.
Nonetheless. Then we have Brooke, who also didn't shine. Brooke with the Brooke faces.
This episode was full of Brooke faces.
Yeah, she changed it up a little bit. I will hand it to Brooke.
She got a bit
she changed it up just a little bit.
I think some of those.
Yeah.
And a few tears.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. Yeah.
Well, save the tears for your pillow because Abby is not having. I look like I'm melting over here. Melting.
Fine.
Then we have Paige. Okay. And then, of course, Maddie.
Right back
with
where she
her.
belongs.
I'm back up at the top. Y'all.
Interesting comment that Abby did make about Paige saying that the reason that she's up there high on the pyramid was because of her look. Nothing to do with her dance ability.
God.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
the way that she looked.
That's the way the dance industry is sometimes. She's like, you have a great look. I mean, just going to put you at the top. It's fine.
Well, you know, this industry is all about the look.
Yep.
Your physique, exactly.
Yeah.
How you appear on stage.
Yeah, you
She's a
have to
pretty
have
girl,
some
too.
talent to back it up, but look is what matters.
Sounds like LA.
Very LA. And then during the pyramid, we noticed that new Chloe was not there.
Yeah.
And of course, Jill is all like, well, do you regret having new Chloe and her taking up all the time and blah, 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 blah.
No.
Exactly. She's like, Abby was like, no, I actually like working with her
She was talented.
for a week. And then she moved on. And then at that point, Abby announces that she is not only replacing one person, but she's going to create a whole new team.
Yeah.
Dun dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
What do you guys think about this whole new team thing?
I think
What does she call it? She calls it the ultimate elite competition. Or
Yeah, the junior elite.
The junior elite team. But the way that she references that she's going to make replicas of Maddie, a whole team full. It's kind of creepy.
A little bit.
It is a
what?
little creepy.
And
She
there's
really
only-
just wants. She's obsessed with Maddie.
Well,
she really is obsessed with that
Maddie
girl.
is like what every dancer her age should be.
yeah, she's young and she's
According to Abby.
up to par on her technique and is a great performer. Like if I was young, I would want to be like Maddie.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a nice change up from the whole Candy Apples versus Abby Lee. If it's like Abby's now two teams against each other, I think
Yeah.
it'll be a
Yeah.
nice change up.
They
to
may
the
be.
drama.
We're all over the apples.
Yeah.
Well, apparently so are Dance Moms because they only make an appearance once every blue moon.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
wherever the Candy's apples are, you guys need to get it
It's
together.
getting old a little bit though.
A little bit. The rivalry is
Yeah.
getting a little old. But we shall see if she puts this new team together and how they'll challenge each other
See
and,
this
and
weekend.
compete.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, are you?
And where are they-
Are you?
Yeah. Going to Ohio.
You're judging,
I'll be hosting.
Hosting.
hosting. That's right.
Yeah, I'll be on the microphone this time. Yeah,
You better get your host life on.
I'm gonna get it.
So Abby also announces that they're traveling to New York for
My
sheer talent.
favorite city, by the way. So any
Yes.
New York Dance Moms fans, comment below. We love you. Fabulous city. Anyway, jump straight to it.
We have Paige and Brooke have a solo. The duet is with Paige and Chloe. And she mentions that the go-to girls are not available because Mackenzie, Maddie, Nia, and Kendall are competing in another competition,
They're going to
Nuvo,
Pittsburgh.
in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, it's actually Abby's dance studio that they were competing with Rain Dance Productions
Yeah.
instead of the Abby Lee dance company that's made for TV.
Made for TV. And there was the introduction of Kalani, who was on Abby's Ultimate Dance Competition Season 2. And apparently her and Maddie have a duet. And there was a key purpose of mentioning that her and Maddie had a duet.
Yes,
And we will
there
get
was.
to that in a second. And of course, she will be hosting another open call to find her little Maddies
Little Maddies.
because she
Because
is,
everyone is going to be replaced.
Yes.
Or is replaceable.
Replaceable.
is replaceable. I felt like in this episode, well, of course, Maddie was the only person that was invited to the new team as well. But I felt like in this episode, was it me or did you feel like Abby does not like Kelly's kids?
Yeah, Abby was just ruthless this entire episode, I felt like.
Yeah.
And mostly to her kids. And even Chloe, I mean, when they were there at the open call, she was like, why are you guys wearing my clothes?
And you would think that she would want them wearing
Yeah.
the apparel because these kids are what makes the show.
Yeah.
So these are their peers. So of course they're going to look up to them.
Yeah.
So why would you have them change?
Yeah.
I think the entire episode, though, it wasn't that she just doesn't, like last week, she was just in a frumpy, bitchy mood.
Yeah.
This week, she was really malicious. She
Yeah.
was really, her actions that she did, I think she set both Paige and Brooke up several times to make them look bad. She overweighed, and it was good. Then she pulled Paige out of the group performance, but she was trying to put her in solo, duet,
Yeah.
group, so she knew she'd set her up for failure.
Yeah.
Then when they didn't even teach them at the open call, the demonstration,
Yeah.
of course the girls are going to look horrible by not showing them at all. And she's like, oh, well.
Let's talk about the open call, because, you know, you just mentioned one of the things was that Abby didn't teach them what was going to be taught for the audition. And as we've seen in the other open calls, Maddie was always in the front showing them what they were going to do.
Which Maddie had been taught.
As an assistant, you should know what's being taught on stage so you can be what the, you know, little kids wanted to look up to you. They want to learn.
Exactly.
So that, watching that made me kind of go, I don't, that's not right for you to treat them like that. And then for that mom in New York, when her child got called out, to go, well, Paige doesn't do that well.
Horrendous, her turns. Exactly. Horrendous.
And kudos to Paige, because Paige said, oh, really? Now what?
Done.
And the kid went and had several seats.
Out of the auditorium.
Yes. Your chair is back there.
It's outside.
So go find it.
In the cold.
But I really felt bad for Chloe, Paige, and Brooke.
Yeah.
Because I think for the first time we were kind of seeing some sort of mess with them, and some sort of tension, and some sort of maybe dislike for them.
I felt bad for them this episode.
I mean, the facial expressions said a lot. For both
Chloe
Brooke,
cried.
Paige. When Chloe was like, I'm scared.
Yeah.
And the mums were reiterating that, saying, this is ridiculous. This is an extracurricular activity that we take our girls to, and they're petrified. They're crying. It's just gotten too much. It's not just, there's not even, and I realise in any sport or any activity you do, there's not always going to be fun, happy times.
Yeah.
Yes, there's going to be harder times you need to work through, but this is pushing it. There's no enjoyment at all. These
they're
girls,
kids. They're preteens. They should be enjoying where they're at and love doing what they're doing, and not being scared of their teacher.
not constantly threatened about your position. And these girls take it as in terms of how they're viewed. And, you know, I'm not going to go as far as track down to self-worth, but it's interlined.
It's a self-conscious thing, I feel like.
It's a massive
They're
thing.
young. They're
These
young, and they're
girls-
like, you know, they're so all about themselves, and they're like just so self-conscious about anything and everybody has to say about them. So it's that like delicate stage where they're constantly looking at themselves.
But I will say the talent in New York was amazing.
But did you not expect? I mean, this is New York.
I mean, true,
The home of,
true. It is New York, the heart of dance and theater and the arts and all that.
Exactly.
So, I mean, would we expect anything less? No. But to sit there and watch those kids, I was like, well, here's your whole new team just right here in
Just
New York.
take it up there.
Yeah, I can't imagine what else she found in the other cities, because she has mentioned many times before, I've found a lot of talent. But to see the kids in New York, I was like,
did you see when
did
you see when Kelly said you guys want to be replaced anyway, don't you? And then Brooke like nodded. She was like,
yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
Yeah.
That says a lot.
Maybe they just don't want to be there anymore, and this was their way out.
That's Brooke's face.
And
it wasn't just even Brooke's face. It was at 15, I think certainly by that age, you kind of find that you do get a voice, even though we'll talk about it later because it builds up to a big part of the episode.
Yeah.
Is that you kind of get to a point where she's just like, no, I don't want to do this. It's, I think still Paige is at that young age where dance is everything, and Brooke's seeing and finding other avenues and other fun things, and she's like, look, Abby, get a life. You're not the be all and end all anymore.
Right.
And she realizes that.
Yeah. I mean, Brooke has a singing career.
Yeah.
69 cents on iTunes.
That's somebody's lunch money.
We're supporting it. Don't,
We do.
You know, we're not hating
We
it.
support it. I bought it. And I bump it in my car. I was on my way here listening to it because I was hurting because I wasn't here on time. All over my body.
You're welcome, Brooke.
Bam.
Now, what did you guys think about the solo performances from Paige and Brooke?
Well, did you guys notice that Abby wasn't so present in this competition?
She was very flighty, wasn't she? She was
Like-
always on a, gotta go to see these other
Yeah.
girls.
The
that are at
other girls that
audition.
were in the open call.
I've got to go.
And
What's the matter?
Kelly even brought up, like, she's not here because it's my kids.
Yeah.
And I felt like if Paige messed up so many times because she kept saying I keep having to tell her the same corrections over and over again.
Oh, how are those comments though?
She's just rude.
They were very harsh. But at the same time, you would still want to work with her right before she goes out. I mean, any help that you can give your student before she goes out to represent you, you want to do that. So I felt like them going into this competition, they felt defeated because they didn't have their teacher behind them. This whole time, this episode, again, felt weird because we normally see her, Maddie, do your solo, or,
even if it's
Chloe, do your solo.
Hard, critique all her so-called pep talks, as we know, are not the loving, friendly. Pep talks. But there is a motivation behind it, and she gives that to the girls. There was no talks, there was nothing. She was quite dismissive of them. She was just like, I'm just going to detach. I'm just going to watch you guys fail.
Yeah.
And it's not my problem.
I think she wanted that. She wanted, like you said, she wanted them to fail. That's why she did everything she did this week. Yeah. She set those girls up.
Do you guys feel like they were set up to fail with being given, like Paige being given the solo and the duet and having to basically really, really work hard? I mean, we haven't seen Paige do a solo in forever. Yeah. Let alone have more than anything than just a group number. So do you guys really feel like they were being set up?
Abby threw so much at the girls this week, not only just solos and duos, but she, at the open call, she said, take off those clothes. Why are you wearing them? And then she's just been the entire episode just throwing everything at those girls. So I feel like maybe not intentionally, but she really was giving it to them.
Her little tactics. What'd she bring in? That was that Allie and the other two girls.
Oh, the top two from Abby's.
Oh, yeah.
Just bringing them in and parading.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just all these little childlike tactics.
Now,
that I was not impressed with Abby at all in this episode.
Playing devil's advocate just a little bit. I'm not being pro Abby. I'm just giving a different insight.
Right.
Do you think that they had to work harder because the other girls, the go-to girls, were competing in that other competition? That makes sense.
You can see the other side, that the two, both Paige and Brooke, are not the best dancers. They're not Maddie's. They're not even Chloe's. And I would have to say some people may look at it and say, no, Abby's giving these two girls an opportunity to really then prove Abby wrong, that they are. They've really improved. They are quite good dancers. Their performance is far better than what it was a couple of years ago. And they didn't come through.
I think Brooke's a beautiful dancer, though. Like, her feet are so pretty. Her technique is really great. Her legs and lines are amazing. She doesn't want to do it.
Her acro, the stuff that she does.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Yep.
I'm like, you are.
That's contortion. Some of the things.
She could be an amazing dancer.
She had her legs back in. It was very heavy acrobat. That her solo performance was, I think, too much in some way.
So let's go into the competition. We first had Paige's solo. I thought it was fun.
Yeah.
I thought it was cute.
I thought it was remind me of Mackenzie dance choreography. Did you not feel it was far below her age and her skill level?
But at the same time, if it's far below, I feel like she didn't execute it that well.
Yeah, she didn't step up to the age.
And if this is something that could have been choreographed for Mackenzie, she should have excelled in it far beyond. But I felt like there were, overall it was okay, but there were some, her legs weren't straight at some point in time.
Fix her feet and her legs.
Yeah, there wasn't that energy that she needed to really make it pop and sell. It looked like a really campy number, campy little musical number. And she didn't sell it like she was supposed to because her energy was kind of low.
I was always told if something's really simple and easy, that's when you really have to step up to the plate and make it more interesting.
Yeah, because you got to go back to basics with a lot of your dance, in particular your turns and everything.
So she kind of didn't do that, even though it was simple for her.
Then we had Brooke, who I really thought she was amazing.
Yeah, she's an amazing dancer for sure.
And I thought her acrobatics were ridiculous, just the things that she was doing and how she did it with such ease.
I would say a few, but this is more really nitpicky. Going into when you see on the face and other expressions, I mean, it was almost, she was straining
Yeah.
It didn't feel, it certainly, I know when you're doing the acrobats and the moves like that, it's not going to always feel extremely comfortable.
Yeah, no, it
but
doesn't.
you really top dancers can actually get away with still doing it and still maintain that exactly, have the performance face. You could really see the strain in her face.
Well,
and some of her body moves, it was too.
When 95% of your body is over your
I
head,
know, I was just saying.
you are going to have that face like,
Nikki.
okay, I got
Poop
it.
face.
Yeah, you can't. I don't think you can have like the beautiful face like, I'm just floating and I'm down. And that's not gonna. There's gonna be a little strain,
Okay.
a little bit. You won't catch me doing it. Not this 6'2", 200-pound person. I like to eat.
She just doesn't want to be there.
Yeah.
She doesn't, and
does not
and her
wanna be
her faces.
Well, according
say
to Abby,
everything.
she's princess of Boringtown, USA.
See what I mean? Just everything this episode just ruthless.
She just had to. There's never just a nice compliment. This one, she just threw in a bitchy
yeah.
comment.
I feel like it was such a build up to
Everything.
what was going to happen.
Yeah.
But okay, but in the end, Abby was not happy with Paige or Brooke's solo.
Nope.
So she was both disappointed in that. Then we had the duets, and suddenly Abby decided to put Maddie and Kalani's duet into the competition. How did you guys feel about that? Did you think that it was wrong of Abby to put in that duet over Paige and Chloe's duet?
Yeah. I felt like she should have had faith in that duet, at least given them a shot to like prove themselves. I think it was just kind of, she went behind everyone's backs, first of all. So, probably to make the girls feel good about, they're like, we're supposed to be doing the duet this week. And then
Right.
she throws Maddie and Kalani into the mix. And it's just kind of like well, we're obviously going to get second place because look at the girls. It's
Right.
It was just a mess up situation.
Yeah.
Stephanie, what did you think?
Look, I think Abby was just doing really childish, malicious little acts, and this was another one of them where I thought they could have. The two girls, they could have won it.
They would have won.
They would have won it, and she didn't need that. If we all want to talk about winning, understand it's a business, and as she says, kids, this is showbiz. Yes, we get that, but you would have had a win.
They would have.
You didn't need to put them in, and the only reason you put them in because you wanted to stir the pot, in particular, with the girls' own friendships.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
you're
what-
putting one of their friends, Maddie, and they all get along. She's
I
asking now for these girls because that creates
fight.
more
Yeah.
drama, and the girls don't want to be there, and she doesn't want them there.
I did feel like it was not right of her to put it in and not be upfront about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She
Like-
made Melissa kind of look like the bad guy.
How did you guys feel about that? Because suddenly the moms were very upset with Melissa because they felt like Melissa knew that the duet was going to happen. But Melissa was saying it was brought up, but it wasn't brought up again, and she didn't bring it up.
And
so,
then she also made the comment about, can we do it non-judging?
She asked.
Can it
Right.
not be judged?
I feel like
Right.
she knew it was going to happen, but she
She
didn't
knew-
know
she knew-
Abby was going to do with it.
She knew it was going to cause a rift between the moms because let's face it, Melissa is a little sneaky. We've known that about her. So this makes her look even more sneaky.
Or are they editing? You remember last week when we saw with the whole hairpiece experience, and they edited it so it really looked
Like she had helped out.
she'd
but,
done it, she'd
yeah.
sabotaged.
Yeah. It could be editing. We're not there, but we
Yeah.
can only judge by what we see.
Yeah.
If we, when we have guests, they definitely give a better insight because
Yeah.
they're there and they see the things that we don't. But judging by what Melissa said, I don't think that she did anything malicious at all.
No, I don't think so.
And I think this was Abby saying, I know that I need a win. I know that Maddie and Kalani can win this. I'm going to put them in. But it made it seem like Melissa and Maddie were in on it. And then that Maddie lied to Chloe
Yep.
and said,
sad.
we're not doing it. But in that situation, I felt like the moms were putting the girls against each other and making it
Yep.
seem like a bigger issue. Because Chloe and Maddie said nothing. It was the moms that were saying something. And then it was like,
about she's not your friend and
yeah,
stuff anymore. It's
not
like,
anymore. And I'm just
They
like,
through those girls into that mix. It was kind of inappropriate.
yeah,
Yeah.
you don't need to bring the girls in like that. Their own friendships.
yeah,
It's not.
it's not fair. It's not fair to have a child try to go against their parent. And Abby tries to do that. Oh, are you going to, like she said that to Brooke.
Yeah.
Oh, are you going to let your mom speak for you? You just, yeah, because
I ain't getting hit.
if that was my mom and I went, Mom, before I could get anything out, whatever,
Yep.
with a hand, a switch, a shoe, a barrette, whatever she had in her hand, it was, and back then it wasn't child abuse, it was called discipline.
Right.
Nowadays, people call 911 too much. That's why we got so many bad little behind kids.
Oh, God.
I'm sorry.
They just need a little slap.
Yeah,
I
they just need a little whooping, a good
They do.
old-fashioned country, go get a switch from a tree whooping.
Stop grounding the kid. Just give him a whooping.
Timeouts do not work because they don't have time to sit there and think. You need to now go think about
Simple.
that. That's why I'm such a good kid that I
I
am.
don't know if I'm condoning this. Anyway,
I got whoopings and I turned out.
look how
excellent.
Tony turned out. Anyway, let's move
But
on.
Melissa
I
did
felt
tell
like
the
that
moms,
was a slight
though.
read, Stephanie, but I'm gonna let you have that. Let you have it.
Melissa did tell the moms though before they went on stage. She was like,
Abby's
Maddie,
at-
Yeah,
Yeah,
doing
there's
the
a
duet.
duet.
Yeah. So let's talk about the duets. I felt like Maddie and Kalani's duet was beautiful.
Yeah.
And
Kalani is a gorgeous dancer.
and they danced so well together.
Yeah.
It literally looked like one unit just kind of moving across
They
the
mirrored
stage.
each other, did they not? Like absolutely perfect timing.
The last pose, almost, I think Maddie went a little too far, but everything else, it was like they were one person.
Except for the facial expression.
Well,
Maddie
Maddie always has
there.
her.
and I
At least
heard.
Kalani, she appropriately,
Yeah.
Yeah.
performance face is.
It's real.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was just in awe with it. I was
Yeah.
like, no wonder she wanted to put this in.
Yeah.
Because
They're
It's
stunning.
amazing. Kalani was my favorite on Abby's Ultimate. I rooted for her, and Abby loved her, and I know Abby's gonna continue to love her. She's an amazing dancer.
Yeah.
and that duet, apparently, according to one of the moms, that was learned over the summer during booty camp.
Booty camp.
And Melissa said, no, they learned it this week. But of course, the moms are like, no, they learned it this summer, and that's why
Yeah.
it looks that good.
No,
Clean.
you're lying again, is what the moms want to say
Yeah.
to her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cut to Paige and Chloe's duet.
Oh gosh.
I didn't enjoy this duet as much as I should have. I felt like the pairing wasn't strong enough. I felt Paige was not as strong as Chloe.
No.
And
No,
so
she's not.
it made Paige look sloppy during some times. And where it could have been really strong, I felt Paige was struggling to keep up
Yeah.
with Chloe.
And they just seen that Kalani and Maddie go
Yeah.
on stage right before them. You're like, oh my gosh, now we have to go on stage.
Exactly. I would have said, excuse me, can I go first?
Overall, I didn't think, though, the choreography was as good
It
as
wasn't.
what Maddie
Yes.
It really wasn't.
I do believe choreography makes
Wishbone.
a world of difference. Yeah, wishbone.
Yeah.
Wish
I did
you had
enjoy-
more time to work on it.
I did enjoy Chloe though. I did enjoy her in
Yeah.
that
Yes,
duet.
yes.
More so than Paige.
Well, of course, because Paige just wasn't ready for all that dancing that she was doing. So let's go to the awards, and then we can deal with the drama
Well, the
that
group.
that ensues. So at the end of the day, Paige got 5th place in her solo. Brooke got 4th place. The duet, first place went to Kalani and Maddie, and second place went to Paige and Chloe, which I was surprised that they got second.
Yeah.
But then I felt bad because I was like, had she not put
They would have got
Kalani
first.
They
and
would've won
Maddie
it.
in, they would have gotten first. So
But even Melissa was supportive of that. She's like, they're gonna win.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
she told Abby that. So I don't think Melissa was.
Yeah, I
bad.
don't
being
think Melissa was
malicious at
doing
all.
anything. No.
No. And then, of course, the group got first place. So,
Which
did
they
we
had
get-
to reblock that because of
Yes.
everything.
I just
No.
realized we didn't even go over the group dance. I'm
okay.
so anxious to go. Let's talk about the
Well,
group dance.
let's
really
talk about
quick.
how the group death so formed. So that means we have to talk about the drama. Guys, it's time. We need to bring it
We
up.
put it off long enough. So they're in the room.
Watch your hands. It's like,
They're in the room before the group dance is supposed to go on. And Abby brings in Kalani and her mother, Kira, right?
Kira.
And
where did she get Kira from? LA's plastic surgery? Was it?
Listen, in this day and age, everybody's trying to look not like the age that they are supposed to look, in which case they look older. I will never experience that because I will always look 24.
Black don't crack.
I'm still thinking it's going to be the real Dance Moms housewives. Anyway.
Yes. So in the midst of this argument, I found it a little inappropriate that Kira's mom decided to speak up a little bit.
That's what I said.
Because at this point, Kelly is like, you know what? You want to replace my kids? Fine. If Kalani wants to be in the dance, fine. Here you go. Here's a costume. And it all, I felt like it stemmed from Jill asking Kalani, do you know the group dance? Are you doing the group dance?
Why would you ask that?
And Kalani was like, I know it, but I'm not going to do it. And for some reason, what was heard was Kalani's going to be in the group dance and replace Brooke.
Yeah.
Which started this whole thing. Kira stepped up and said, let me say something. And I wanted to be like, no, boo, you need to go have that seat next to Abby because
bad timing.
You don't know these ladies. You know, you don't know their dynamic. Yeah. You're not a part of that. You can't come in and say anything.
It's exactly what I wrote
anyone.
too. I said she spoke out of place.
Yeah, I was like, you have nothing to say. And then of course, Kelly's getting ready to leave. Abby steps up and says something to Kelly, and then Kelly's like, don't put your finger in my face. And then Abby's like, and then slap. And then there was a moment of, and then it was hair. And I was like, I literally wrote, what just happened?
Her bump, it almost came out.
Yeah. I think for me at that point, I felt like this is starting to be too much.
It was a lot.
I can take the yelling. I can take the going back, but now
this isn't a
stuff
kid.
got
this
real.
is a normal.
This is in front of
This is
kids.
a reality show.
Yes,
You
and then
know,
it's like kids get
more
out,
of the-
kids get out, and everyone is sitting there in shock, like
Christy, Holly, Maddie, it's just everybody.
And there was such a delay to get the kids out, and finally they got out into another room. Then Abby calls the police, which
Really?
Yeah, that's one of those moments where it's like,
is it worth it?
Do you really need the police to come and do a report?
Right.
Because you honestly, had you just spoke with your words and not had did this whole biting thing?
She was, again, it's that childlike
Childish.
behavior.
Yes.
And she came up in her face. She was aggressive. She was the one going straight at Kelly.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm
Kelly-
not saying what Kelly did is good. I'm not justifying that she should.
Both
You should
of them were
never.
inappropriate.
There's no reason to hit her or pull her hair
Right.
like that. But
Kelly was already so
Riled up.
built up, and she's dealing with this woman she hates so much, and then
Yes.
Abby gets in her face and starts doing that. Honestly, I probably want to slap
slap her
somebody
too.
too.
See, and let me tell you what the thought process was. Little Tony moment here. Kelly was at that point where she was telling herself, and if you guys have ever been in a fight, I've never been in a fight.
I have.
But you have that moment of, this person say one more thing to me. One more,
Knock
I'm going to
them
knock them out. You got, and in your mind, you're not verbalizing it. You're like, you got one more time. You got one more. And that's what happened. Kelly, I think, while she was yelling, she was like, Abby has one more time to say something else to me. You got some slap, and
That's
that was it.
Kelly was a gangster.
Yeah, very gangster. And the whole calling the police and everything, but thank God for Holly for taking control of the situation, being like, kids, let's go in here.
Mom steps in, Dr. Holly.
Dr.
Exactly.
Holly.
Dr.
Dr.
Holly.
Holly.
To the
She was
rescue,
like,
girl.
Kelly, you need to get out of here. The police are coming.
She's like,
You
listen,
get in the car, we're going.
just trust me. You got to go. Pack their stuff. Your stuff isn't. Get the kids.
Time to go.
Paige, come on. And I mean, she just like, and
Yeah.
they were off.
She
in the
was
van.
security.
I was
Holly
so
was security.
feeling for both Brooke and Paige, but Paige in particular being the youngest, and just I
She
think
was
Chloe
calmer,
too.
though.
You saw Chloe
Yeah.
like, what's going on? That's my best friend. What's
Yeah.
happening?
I mean, Christy's face was like, oh my God,
Yeah.
she's flipped.
Yeah.
That's
Chrissy was
what
like,
I read from
she
that.
finally got to that point.
It was such a shocking thing, I think, for probably them being there and for us watching it.
Yeah, I kind of got, I'm not emotional, but I like felt everything
Yeah.
coming from the TV. I was
Yeah.
like, whoa, this is a lot.
And everything happened so fast. You thought for a second that they were just in their usual argument between Kelly and Abby, but it got serious.
It did.
Yeah.
Really quick.
Abby, after her hair got pulled, her face in the camera like cracked me up. She did this. She was like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I felt like Abby almost wanted to react.
yeah, she wanted to hit her back.
But she had that moment of,
She's still
Don't do it.
I'm on TV. I signed a contract that says I won't put in my hands on anyone, so I'm not going to do it. But I think
Yeah.
the camera was off.
Abby would have went.
Abby
to
just
blows.
stayed there. I was surprised. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
She
was
had that
like,
look in her eyes.
Yeah.
I'm
But
just
she-
going to
you
stay
could-
this and take it.
You could tell there was a delay. There was a big delay in her reaction because she was like, she was mad, but she was like, "What do I do?" And like, she just hit me.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
good for her that she didn't retaliate, because that would have been even worse for the girls.
It
to
would have
see.
been then. We really would have gotten on to the Real Housewives.
Yeah.
Dance Moms.
But
Throwing tables now.
But then even afterwards, like calling the police, the ice on the hair,
Girl, you got your
Oh,
hair
come
pulled. Calm
on.
down.
and I don't have hair, but I wanted to be like, really? Like I've seen worse fights where people have literally walked away and been like, that whole lucky.
Yeah.
You know, they're like
Blood on
riled
their
up.
face and everything like
Yeah.
that. Abby was fine.
Yeah, it's just I don't. It got too real too quick, and I think we have seen the last of
Yeah.
Paige, Brooke, and Kelly.
Yeah.
But I think this was a long time coming.
Yeah.
It was the nail by her setting up her two girls the way she did the entire performance. Something was going to boil and break it, and
Of
that's
course.
what it did.
And
Yeah.
they didn't
Kelly
want to
had
be
had
there
enough
either.
of literally belittling, watching her daughters being belittled by Abby, and this time it was literally putting them in front of everyone and saying, "We're gonna now embarrass your children."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Enough's enough. I'm a mother. These are my girls. We're
Yeah.
getting out.
They
and
don't
I'm
wanna
not
be there
standing for it
anymore." Easiest way out, hit somebody.
The
So
group performance.
Then they still had to perform,
Yeah.
and the girls, being the professionals that they are,
I will
they
give
had
Abby
to-
credit on that. That's the only part I will. She has taught them very well in terms
Mm-hmm.
of dance, and they do. They
Yeah.
grouped together and they were very professional.
Let's
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
Let's
So
get it done.
they reblocked it.
Yep.
They went out there. They're such a great group. They dance well together. I think they used the emotion of
Oh,
everything
yeah.
that just happened in the dance. I could tell some people were really allowing themselves to be a little more free.
Nia was off a little bit.
Yeah,
Yes,
she was.
I noticed that.
We
Did-
all like,
Yeah,
Nia was.
because I put Nia late question mark
several
'cause
sequences.
the camera had panned and
Yeah.
you could tell that she was just a little off.
Mm-hmm.
But that's also Nia.
She'll be at the bottom for that.
Yeah. But in the end, the group did get first place.
I love their costumes though. Their
Their
costumes,
costumes
were so
were,
pretty.
were very
It's
pretty.
a lot better from last week.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
for sure. Actually,
Which one? The chicken one?
They're not,
The
the panties.
the panties and lingerie.
Just inappropriate.
Inappropriate. And that was the Dynamic Dance Moms.
We got it out.
News and gossip also.
Let's go into news and gossip.
AfterBuzz TV News.
So first, before we go into news and gossip, let's do our shout outs.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
And thank you guys so much. You guys are watching. You guys are commenting. I love going on like throughout the next week when we come back, before we come back. I go on and I look and read all the comments that people have made.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy that you guys are involved in the conversation too, and that you guys comment, that you like us. Our video gets over 4,000
Thousands, yeah.
views, so thank you guys very much. And you can also check us out on iTunes and download us there, so that way we can be hopefully in the top 10.
Yeah.
So let's do a couple of shout outs. Am I doing all these myself?
I wrote some down.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Who do you have?
I have Bridget Dance, our yellow great one. Even though you said I was unloved, I still love you.
Oh.
I have
Backslash.
Lexi Brown and Davia Miller.
Okay. And
And I've got Claudia, and I'm gonna. How would you say last name?
Maluskov.
Claudia M.
Haluska, Jinx Essex, Isabel Greenberg, and good on you, Danielle from Australia. That's it, Aussie.
Oi, oi, oi.
Oi, oi, oi.
sorry.
Then we have Annie K. Oh, she loves me. I love you too. Thank you. Laura from Croatia. Raquel. Raylan, who loves me as well. I love you too. And Shanna B. Is that how you say it?
Yeah, that's the way it was on YouTube.
Okay. And then we also have Bobby Hensley, who has tweeted me. You sent me a Facebook message today that I got. Thank you very much. Yeah, there's your shout out. Thank you for favoriting my tweets. I appreciate that. And thank you guys so very, very much. Those are your shout outs. If you want a shout out, make sure you comment below and we'll make sure you get your shout out. If we overlooked you, we're sorry, but
comment again.
Comment again. So
and we'll make sure we get it. So news and gossip.
News and gossip. I do know that Abby and Kelly will be having to make their second court appearance on March the 10th. And I think overall, this is now just becoming very serious. I really don't think going through the court cases, dragging this all through, Abby should have just left it.
I think so too. I think.
Sorry. Keep going. I thought you were done. You keep going.
No, I just think that it's not worth.
It's not
Going
not
up
the
there
court
to
case.
court and all that.
It was a fight. It happened on TV. Whatever.
Yeah.
Let it go.
Let
it go.
You got. Oh my gosh. You got slapped. So sorry, Abby. I mean, Kelly won. Kelly won.
Some gossip, though. We saw a picture on Google today where I find pictures. McKaylee, who won Abby's Ultimate Season 2, was pictured with the girls wearing Abby Lee clothes. So who knows if that's going to happen. And also, it's rumored that, well, not rumored, but it happened. But Maddie and Mackenzie go against each other with the same cry duet in one future episode soon. They do the same exact solo and same costume and everything.
That's going to be really interesting.
Abby, stop
Sister
with the
against
tactics.
sister.
Just leave them anyway.
Yeah.
Next week.
Let's go into predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
So looks like Kalani is going to be a part of the Abby Lee Dance Company
for a while.
Well, the girl that danced like this, I welcome arms.
Course.
You've got to.
Abby loves her.
Fantastic.
What do you guys think is going to happen with Abby and Kelly?
Done.
She's out.
Yeah, that's
Done.
done. Yeah.
Do you think we'll see like the court stuff and what's happening with them throughout this season now that
well, you're only going to get one side. You're only going to get Abby's.
Yeah.
the Abby side?
I feel like, I don't know, because the producers are not only on Abby's side, they're there for the show. So I feel like if they're going to get the whole story, they're going to maybe go to Kelly's house or something.
Yeah, that is true.
But I don't think they can go into a court and record like
No.
Well, no.
proceedings.
They can't do that.
I think we'll probably get like aftermaths or, throughout the season, but I don't know.
And when do you guys think this new team will come about? If it will come about?
I think she's still going to drag it on.
Yeah.
For a couple of more episodes?
Yeah, certainly during the season, definitely.
I guess we shall see.
As Abby plays,
Mastermind.
She
puppeteer.
definitely has a lot on her plate now.
But I see Mackenzie crying in next week.
Because Abby told her voice wasn't good.
No.
Apparently, it looks like Mackenzie may have a little acting thing, and don't know if she can act. So, I can't talk about kids.
But
like
comment down below for us, guys.
Love us.
Comment down below. Let us know what you guys thought about our reclap and this week's episode. And of course, you guys can find us on all social media platforms. Francisco, where can they find you?
You can follow me on Twitter at @TheFrancisco, Instagram Francisco Thurston, and Facebook as well.
You can follow me at Host McGrath on Twitter, and you can also find me at Stephanie McGrath on my Facebook account as well.
Okay. And you guys can find me on all social media platforms, including Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Lounging with Tony. That's LOUNGIN with Tony, TONY. Thank you guys for tuning in. And I promise next week I will bring back my swivel. You guys asked for it, you'll get it next week. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you next week for another reclap.
There we go.
Favorite dance show, Dance Moms, right here on AfterBuzz TV.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.